Hello, it's Mara from Houseplants, New Jersey. So today I wanted to discuss the moss poles. And I have a lot of trouble with my moss poles, like keeping them wet and keeping them without overwatering them. So a lot of times what will happen is I'll let them dry out because these are really skinny moss poles because these plants are really small too. So I'll let them, they're only like, I would say an inch and a half wide, an inch and a half, circumference. So I have a little bit of an issue keeping them moist at all times. So some days I'll forget and then they dry out completely. Okay, they dry out really, really, really fast. I'm a tattoo artist. I do permanent makeup. I tattoo people's faces like brows, eyeliner, lips, scalp micropigmentation. And a lot of times I use these syringes that suck up water. They don't have a needle on them. They just suck up the water, distilled water, and then what I do is I dilute pigment with them. Okay, ink. I dilute with them, whether mineral or organic. So I'm going to show you how I water the moss pole with this. But then I thought of something else. I was watching YouTube and I saw this girl cat, all right, kitty or cat or something like that. The cat in the hat. No, I don't know. But I saw this girl, I think her name was Cat, but I think her Instagram is Kitty. I don't know. So I saw her online and I was like, all right. And she had these moss poles that she didn't make, she ordered. So she ordered from this company, I think it was like Russo or something like that, and they had a self watering cup on top. So I'm like, well, I make my own moss poles, you know, not that I'm so established. I don't even know what I'm doing half the time with these moss poles. But I was like, I can make a self watering cup. That'll be cool. And then I went on and I was watching this kid, Adam, who made self watering cups. And I was like, it's kind of like the same theory. Like the water goes into the yarn or whatever kind of fabric you're using. I got shoelaces and I'm like, it might work well. So today I'm going to show you what I have been doing, which is with this syringe. Okay, this might be for you. I don't know. I have a pack of 100, and I mean, I use them all the time because I tattoo people. So, but if you're, I think they sell them in packs of 12. I don't think you need 100 of them. Okay. And these are the 10 milliliter ones. So you could definitely just go with that, like 12, because you're only going to use one. You don't have to keep them sterile. It's not like you're using them on people's skin or breaking skin or anything like that. You just need to use them on a dirty old moss pole. All right. So let me just show you how I do it. I am going to use some of this water here and just suck up some water. All right, all the way to the top. And then we're going to move it on to the moss pole, shove it in there like pretty good. And then slowly it'll come in and it'll moisten everything up. Okay. This takes a little while because you figure it's so dry. So we have to wait a little bit. It takes a little while. So I'm pushing it in there. I'm pushing it in there. After I push it in there, I'm going to shut off the camera because it's going to take a good 10-15 minutes for this water to actually absorb, okay, and to moisten. So I am going to do that, but we are also going to, so that's going to give us a good foundation for the self watering project, then I want to try it. I haven't done it yet. I don't know. We'll just try it out. I saw it on that girl kitty cats thing. All right. And we'll see if it works out. I mean, it'll be cool not to have to worry so much about letting your moss pool dry out and then going to water it, and all the water drips off the sides and on the outside and then overwaters your soil. Because what happens is, now I just ripped off a lot of leaves from this siltepecana, because and even some of them here are really light. I mean, you can see how light they are. So because it's overwatered. So I needed to now I just redid this because I just pinned it into the soil because I want it to root into the soil just to strengthen it up a little bit. But look at how light these leaves are. They're not even like silvery anymore. These are, but like these are definitely not. Like I think I might lose these leaves, and it's because of the struggle with the moss pole. Okay. So I'm gonna give it a few minutes, then we're gonna come back, and I'm gonna I'm gonna show you what I think might actually work. I'm not even sure, but we'll check it out. All right. If it does, I'm gonna be jumping for joy and be cheering like you can't even imagine. All right, 15 minutes. Ciao. Okay. So it's been a good 10 minutes, I would say. So I'm kind of excited about this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of these little shot glass um cups, and I'm going to burn holes into one each side. Okay. So I got my little burner thing. Now I'm gonna put the shoelace through here. Now this is gonna be the tricky part because the other side isn't gonna go in as well, but it'll go in okay. Cut it. Maybe I'll dunk it in some water to make it a little easier. Alright, so I'll dunk it in some water, make it a little easier for me to maneuver through the hole. So, yeah, there we go. Just pull it right through. Alright, and then I'm going to cut off the plastic tip of the other side. Alright, and I'm going to shove it on here, back onto the moss pole. So we're starting over. All right. So now this water won't dribble through so fast, and it'll absorb. Now I have like some nutrients in this water. I have some Alaska fish fertilizer. And guess what, guys? It's not going outside the pole. Usually it drips all down the sides and into the dirt and everything. And my soil is pretty damp right now. This is freaking working. I can't even believe it. And I think that most of it um the shoelace is absorbing the water. And I could see it going into the moss pole. Can you? It's going into the moss pole. So I dampened it with the syringe, but now it's actually going into the moss pole. Let's see. Yeah. Holy crap, holy. I think this might be my new method. I'm going to change all my moss poles around. So I'm not going to have an issue with these skinny little moss poles. Because don't forget, like these guys are only like a shot glass size. This is a shot glass size. So this little moss pole, I have a lot of trouble keeping damp, moist without um spillage everywhere into the soil and touching the leaves too. Let's try this. I'm excited. Ooh la la. This is going to be pretty fun, I think. Watch it grow in there. Yeah. Oh yeah, let's do it. Let's see. And now I have to rearrange. Hold on one second. I have a stem here. It's definitely never going to root in because it's pinned in the wrong direction. Ah, ah, ah. Hold on one second. Oops, I just spilled it on myself. It's okay. It's worth it. It's worth having smelly water on you. Because guess what? You could root. Where's that root? Here it is. Could actually have a chance of growing in. Let me pin it up higher. Okay. There we go. I'm like so psyched right now. Like you can't even imagine. All right, guys, that is my new trick. I am totally excited. I I'm like beside myself. I'm blown away. I'm blown away that it actually worked. I can't even believe it. And I was pissed off about it. And then I was listening to some DMX and I was like, I gotta get this going. And then boom, it came. It came to me. I have some shoelaces and so a burner. I have a cup. I have tons of cups. I have 6 shoelaces. I'm good. We're going to keep on going with this. And then I think what's going to happen is when I make some more moss pools, like bigger ones or something, then what I'm going to do is I think what I might do is run the shoelaces down the moss poles into the cup. And that way it'll just go a little deeper. It doesn't have to go all the way down, but it'll go in like down a little further. And then we'll go from there. Hell yeah. All right. All right. Like, subscribe, comment, and uh that's it. All right. Thank you. Bye.